I'm just Radio 920 and run up to 710. This report is sponsored by Compassion International. News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. Traffic. Just before 8 o'clock this morning during the morning rush, there was a crash at the airport connector on 95 northbound. Still only the left lane is open to get by. They're still doing the investigation, and looks like it's going to go on for the rest of the afternoon. Also, things are slow as you get onto 146 southbound out by 95 and then seeing off and on delays on 295. I'm Dan, and that's a look at your southern New England traffic.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are becoming desperate. Join Compassion International and provide for a family in poverty. Make your one-time $40 gift. Text HOPE to 83393.
Hey, if you need to sell your home without all the headaches most people experience, hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you that after years of buying, selling, investing millions of dollars in real estate, that all real estate agents do not operate the same way. Now, what makes the difference between a home selling fast and for top dollar, or that sits on the market for months and doesn't even sell at all? Well, you have a great American right in your backyard that I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Nathan Clark at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Nathan's family has been serving Rhode Island now for over 50 years. They are the #1 real estate team in Rhode Island now for the past 10 years. Nathan spends thousands of dollars every month and creates demand for your home, which makes it sell faster and for more money. And Nathan will let you out of your contract at any time, right up until you accept an offer. Don't play games with your home. Call Nathan today, 401-232-7661, online at NathanClarkTeam.com. That's NathanClarkTeam.com. And you can start packing.
Home sweet home. People are putting time, energy, and money into their homes right now. It's a better place to put it. And as a result of all that effort, what is that just disappear? Call 1-800-GOT-HOME. Just disappear. All you have to do is point. You won't just be saying, sweet home anymore. You'll be saying extremely, very sweet, big, open spaces. Start saying, jump free home. Call 1-800-GOT-HOME. Visit 1-800-GOT-JUMP.com. News Radio 920 and 104.7.
He's going to go quietly or not, and we have to be ready for that.
Trump, COVID scandal, makes what Nixon did at Watergate look innocent.
Only 112 days until America votes.
Scott Shannon, on 112 days till you, we, the American people, you become the ultimate jury. Loaded up today. We expect the president having a press conference at some point during today's show. When that happens, we will bring that to you. We have a lot of election news. We have a lot to get to. Let me just start with some simple observations on the election, and let's just keep it very, very, very simple. Because this race now has changed dramatically. And I was getting into this yesterday. We now have the most radical, extreme socialist candidate to ever seek the office of the presidency in Joe Biden. Never mind the fact, does he have the mental alertness? Does he have the strength, the stamina to take on the hardest job in the world? That's separate and apart from everything else. Joe Biden now, by last week, embracing and identifying that, well, now the police have become the enemy. Now embracing the defund and reallocate the funds from the police department's efforts. He said it in his own words in his own interviews. Law and order will certainly be on the ballot, because this is now the party of defund the police. This is a party that has protected anarchists and allowed them to take over city streets. If you go state by state, it's not a pretty picture. I went over this, yesterday. 64 people shot in Chicago, 11 killed. Okay, that is like a war zone. There's like a silent war going on in America's cities. And these mayors and these governors, mostly all blue state mayors, run by Democratic liberals for decades in the cities that we're talking about. Most of the states, they've been run by governors that are Democrats, liberal Democrats for decades. They have run their economies into the ground. They have no ability whatsoever to deal with a pandemic, and they have no ability at all whatsoever to keep their citizenry safe and secure. There's no pursuit of happiness if you're not safe and secure in your own home, your own city, your own neighborhood. And that is now unfolding right before our eyes. And, rather than embrace the moment, and we can deal with the 1% that abuse their power, that are corrupt, that have no business being in the job of law enforcement. We can weed them out. We can also provide more training. We can provide more non-lethal alternatives. We can do all of that. New York City, spiraling out of control. 15 shootings in a span of 15 hours over the weekend. 28 separate shootings. We had a one-year-old baby boy, Lawrence Jones, interviewing the father and the grandmother last night on Hannity. Shot to death, an innocent child in a stroller at a cookout near a public playground. But what's Comrade de Blasio doing? He's out there painting sidewalks and street pavements. Okay, I'm all in favor. You want to paint away. Can you paint after you first make sure that everyone in New York City is safe and secure? Because you're not doing a good job on that, just like you did a horrific job on the coronavirus. Just, early March. Go on out to, hang out, do whatever you want. Same thing with, then we've got zero bail Cuomo in New York. I mean, there's nobody that put more people in harm's way with coronavirus than that man. And then he's lashing out, blaming, let's blame the nursing homes. Let's blame it. They're doing this for money. They wanted the patients for money, which was never true. You're responsible for your own PPE. Blame Donald Trump. People are going to die anyway. All the crap that he said. I mean, it's insane. So, what do they do in New York? They disbanded the New York Police Department's anti-crime unit. That's like their most effective, on the street protecting citizens unit that they had. Then cut $1 billion from the police budget. And then Andrew Cuomo's no bail executive mandate, which means that criminals, they've been chronicling in the New York papers, bank robbers rob a bank, and they get fingerprinted, they get their mugshots taken, then they get released with no bail. Then they go out and rob another bank, they get fingerprinted, they get another mugshot, and then they go out and rob another bank. And they're literally, I'm kidding you not, they're out there saying, thank you for allowing us to keep up our work instead of putting us in jail. We've got police now, well over 1,000 injured, 8 dead, at least. Actually, if you add the 2 from this weekend in Texas, that's 10. Then, others, we have people being pelted with rocks and bricks and, Molotov cocktails. It's madness. Knives and guns, it's all happening. You have one cop being put in a headlock. You have, at 7 p.m. at night, you got, shootings in broad daylight. You have grandmas being beaten up on the streets of New York. I mean, just for walking the streets, somebody walks by, punches them in the face. Go down. This poor grandmother in a walker crossing the crosswalk has to be confronted by these anarchists in New York City. We have so many cops now in New York City filing for retirement that they're forced to